Om Shri Sai Ram. Respected elders, my dear brothers and sisters, a loving Sai Ram to one and all. I place my humble pranams at Bhagavan's lotus feet and extend a warm welcome to everyone present here. By Swami's immense grace and blessings, for this 137th edition of Samarpan, Swami has blessed us all to have Sri Girish Atre as our guest speaker to share his personal experiences and lessons learned at Bhagavan's lotus feet. Brother Girish Atre is an alumnus of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning and he hails from Pune city. He was one of the first singers at Prashanti bhajan group handpicked by Swami in late 1970s. Brother Girish Atre joined first batch of Nilayam Junior College in 1979. He completed PUC and Bachelor's of Science and then with blessings of Swami completed his MBA from Pune University. In his student days, he was blessed to compose many bhajans. Some of the popular ones are Nanda Nandana Hari Govinda Gopala, which he composed in 1980. Later in 1984, he composed the famous and popular bhajan, He Anath Nath Sai Tumuo Antaryami. Brother Girish has been active in Maharashtra state level bhajan activities. He got the golden opportunity when Swami allowed Maharashtra devotees to celebrate Ashadi Ekadeshi at Puttaparthi in the year 1997. Brother Girish composed music for every year's Ashadi celebration from 1998 to 2014. He has composed more than 50 songs through Ashadi celebrations in Puttaparthi. He was also blessed to lead All India Singers for presenting a choir before Swami during 80th birthday celebrations, and his popular composition was Soham Sai Om. While Brother Girish Atre continues to lead and develop the bhajan activities in Maharashtra, he also developed a passion for studying the science underlying the spiritual concepts. He presented a musical performance at Puttaparthi on the occasion of Ashadi Ekadesi in 2013 titled Quantum Signature of God and another in 2018 titled Science of Living with Swami as part of the Science and Spirituality Conference held at Parthi. Professionally, Brother Girish is a successful businessman and having a business manufacturing unit for Parle brand with a capacity of 100 tons per day and is also into land development in Pune city. Now I request Brother Girish Atre to take the stage and share his beautiful experiences and valuable lessons learned at Bhagavan's lotus feet. Brother Girish Atre.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering my most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Lord. I would not loud enough. Okay? Yeah. I would frankly admit that I'm quite overwhelmed by the opportunity, and this occasion naturally takes you to a nostalgic period because when we are sharing the experiences, it naturally takes us to a nostalgic domain. And you naturally get overwhelmed by remembering all those memories associated with all your past experiences. This whole journey actually has occupied most of our lives, especially our generation, I would say. I was introduced to this domain when I was 8 years old. My father came for Swami's darshan in 1971, and everyone had some occasion, some incident, some reason to get associated with Swami. In my father's case, it was his accident in 1964. He met with a horrible accident in which almost all parts of his body got damaged, multiple fractures, his kneecaps were dislocated, his spinal cord was affected, And from 1964 to 1978, he underwent about 20 major operations. And he was a lawyer in Sholapur, but almost 6 months of the year, half the time of the year, he used to be in Bombay hospital. And my mother used to be alone because we were 3 children. And the elder sister used to take care of us, and my mother used to take care of my father in Bombay hospital. And during that time, whenever the other 6 months also, he used to be almost in the bed only in Sholapur also. And with that limitations, he was continuing his practice because he had to earn somehow for the family. And one client came called Ambadas Mengji from Sholapur. Recently, the other day, Nimish Bhai inaugurated the Sholapur Satya Sai Center. That time, one of his family members had come there, Mengji's family members. She was there at that time. So he was my father's client, and he suggested, he was Swami's devotee, and he suggested my father ki, sir, why don't we try going to Swami once? And walking was almost impossible for my father. That kneecap was dislocated in such a fashion that you put one foot and then that cap would slip down. Again, someone will have to take it up. Again, you put the next step. That was the position. But still, my father agreed. He said, okay, let us make an effort. And at that time, on those days, you go to Gundkal, you change the train to Dharmavaram, then Kottacheru and Bukkapatnam, you take the bullock carts, and then you go to Puttaparthi. And that way he traveled. He had Swami's darshan. Then he came back. Then that client insisted, ki, sir, you come to Dharmakshetra once. So he brought him to Dharmakshetra. And father said, ki, I see I cannot come inside and walk all this distance. I would stay outside. So when you cross the road and you stand that side, my father was standing at that side. And on that day, Swami came straight down, straight went to the road and created vibhuti and applied it on my father's kneecap, and it was fixed. And he said, he told my father, you come inside. He took him for interview in Dharmakshetra, and he narrated all his life story to my father. And then he said, now Swami will take care of you. Don't worry. And he blessed him. He again created vibhuti, and that's how my father's journey started. Then father came to Sholapur. Then he took a call. Who all are the devotees of Satya Sai Baba in Sholapur? What are they doing? Then there was no formal samiti formed. Then he formed the samiti in Sholapur. He started the bhajan activity in Sholapur. Then he 72 he came, Gokulashtami time he came to Puttaparthi. Then Swami blessed him with 2-3 interviews. 73 also he came. But during those 2-3 years, he was always wondering, being a lawyer, he was always inquisitive. He was reading all Swami's literatures, and he was always wondering why Swami is announcing himself as an avatar of Shirdi Sai. He was always entertaining some doubts in his mind. Is this possible? How is it that Swami is avatar of Shirdi Sai? Is it true? So all the time he was carrying all the samiti activities very dedicatedly, very sincerely. But back of the mind, he was always having that doubt, is it really true that Swami is avatar of Shirdi Sai? And 1973, Gokulashtami, he came with my brother to Puttaparthi, and Gokulashtami day Swami called him for interview. And then Swami said, ki kal fir bulata hai. So next day again he called him. And on that day, in front of my father and brother, Swami just moved his gown to this level and just did like this and materialized a gold frame, and which had Swami's photo and Shirdi Sai's photo. Can you just show that photo? It's a gold frame. It is kept in our house, puja room. And that gold frame, this is the gold frame which is kept in our puja room. And Swami said कि देखो ये शिरडी साई है, ये परती साई है, दोनों को वर्शिप करो. So I would treat almost all the experiences which my father had, I would treat them as the divine level experiences. Swami as the real embodiment of God. He gave all these divine level experiences to my father, I would say. And when I was a student, as students, we had the physical level experiences where we experienced the motherly and fatherly care and love from Swami. But this was a divine experience, and this experience would teach you about Swami's omnipresence. Swami knows what is going on in everybody's mind and how lovingly he addresses it. And he has innumerable ways to address it. Sometimes, one summer course, that time in 1972, the first summer course started. And during the summer course, Swami used to teach so many things. And in one summer course, there was one case, one student after the summer course, he went and he had promised he would not see any movies. But he went and saw the movies. And then next time when he came, Swami materialized a photograph and showed him. He was standing in the ticket queue on the theater. So this also shows that he knows everything. And these are different ways in which Swami shows you how he knows everything. On the other hand, there are instances where you would wonder, does Swami really know everything? There are so many such instances. When he asks questions to you, you really wonder, why is Swami asking such questions? But that will come later on. But this was the first experience which I also witnessed, because after when my father and brother came to Sholapur back, we installed this gold frame in our puja room. And then we all started worshipping. And automatically, the whole family, which otherwise, invariably, every family, if you see, if it is not connected with divine principles, you would invariably see different directions of each family members. And this invariably connects. So all the family members, without their knowledge, they connect it, and their central focus, even at the back of the mind, becomes Swami. And from that central focus, all the diversions are minimized. I wouldn't say they are neutralized or nullified, but they are minimized. So this is the biggest advantage, that coherence in family is the biggest advantage I have seen in all the families who are actually connected with Swami. So this is the first lesson which I would say I had learned, I had observed all throughout the years. When I look back and when I look at the other families and the different directions in which all the members behave, and the kind of conflicts it creates, kind of tensions it creates, and comparatively the peace which we experienced in our family, which the coherence which we experienced in our family, that has no value. I mean, that is priceless. The amount of tensions I see around in the world today, compared to that, the peace which we enjoyed and we experienced, I am sure all the Sai families would have experienced this kind of coherence and peace amongst the family and in the individual with the connection with Swami. So this was how our journey was going on. My father was doing comparatively well in the profession with all his health ailments. And Swami used to tell him, every time that operation used to crop up, my father, of course, Swami was kind enough, gracious enough to talk to him every time he went. Every time he used to be blessed with 2-3 interviews. And then he used to ask Swami, doctor bol rahe ki abhi ye operation karo, abhi wo operation karo. And I remember 50% of the times Swami said ki ye operation mat karo. And other 50% he said ki haan ye karo. So you see both the sides, both the angles of Swami. You see the law of karma being balanced. I think wherever it is necessary, Swami interferes. Otherwise, all the spiritual textures and textbooks say that God actually, even if he comes down, he doesn't interfere. In your karma theory, whatever is the fruit of your past karmas and past actions, God usually does not interfere. But here I could see ki wherever it was necessary to keep him going in life and keep him active to dedicatedly perform Swami's activities. So if you are doing God's work, God sometimes interferes and ensures that your troubles are taken care to that extent to which you are required to perform God's acts. That is what is my observation and my learning from all these years of Swami's grace and Swami's blessings. He interferes and he cures to that extent. And Swami said once to my father, कि देखो Brindavan summer course time, my brother was blessed. I think he was the only person who was blessed with 5 summer courses. Swami used to tell him, because it was made a rule. At that time, in 1975, the rule was made कि one who has attended 1 summer course, now he cannot attend the next summer course. And in spite of that, Swami told him, Swami used to tell that time Warden Sudarshan and Srinivas, कि नहीं, he has to come. And my brother attended 5 summer courses. And after every summer course, we used to go to visit him. And we all used to come together. But Swami used to bless us with an interview. And that time, in one of the interviews, Swami told my father, he created Vibhuti and applied to his back. And said कि देखो क्योर करना है तो 1 मिनट में कर सकता है, लेकिन अभी क्योर करेगा तो अगले जन्म में फिर भुगतना पड़ेगा, तो क्या फायदा. So the law of karma, he has stated it clearly, but at the same time, whenever it was dire, it was a dire need that some interference is needed, he has done it. So this continued. 1975 came, and 1975 my mother and father thought of my thread ceremony, and then we decided that we will all go. My grandmother, my uncle and all that, we said all of us will go, and we'll ask Swami. If Swami says yes, okay, we will do, Swami will perform the thread ceremony. Otherwise, we will go and perform it in the Kalyan Mandapam. So we all went, and surprisingly, my grandmother had come for the first time, and Swami picked her up for the interview. And as she was picked up, my mother and all of them went. Only the ladies went for the interview. And my mother asked Swami, बेटी का थ्रेड सेरेमनी करना है. अच्छा ठीक है, कल 9 बजे आ जाओ. So next day morning 9 o'clock we were there, and that time there was one friend of us, I mean Sai Samiti friend, who was staying in Prashanti Nilayam. And when we told him that tomorrow Swami has called us for thread ceremony, and he was a Marathi person, so he talked to us in Marathi and he said, can I join the group? Since it is a group, he said, can I join the group for the interview? We didn't know anything. We said, okay, join. And he was sitting with all of us. And Swami finished the darshan round, came and just pointed at him and said, you go out. You know, so this kind of pinpointed attention is physically, it's not possible. See how Swami picks up I would say the right person to be expelled. But he said, no, you get up and you go. Then he took us inside. My uncle was a doctor, and physically Swami did not know that he was a doctor. And inside, after the thread ceremony, Swami created that thread. He put that thread on me. Then he initiated me with Gayatri mantra. And then he took family-wise everyone inside, in the inside room. And before taking this doctor uncle inside, he called him, "Kya doctor, kaisa hai?" And then he took him inside. So every time, you know, this divine experience that he knows everything, and he knows how to interfere at what time, for what reason, to what extent, and in what way to show his omnipresence and omniscience. So this was in 1975. Then again we used to, 1977 summer course also my brother attended. Again, fortunately by Swami's grace, interviews were going on. And came 1979, I finished my 10th standard. And after 10th standard, since it was a longer holiday, we came to Prashanti Nilayam and said we used to stay for 4-5 days. And Swami, first day when we arrived, next day Swami used to invariably talk to us, kya kaisa hai, kabhi aaya, and all that. This time, 4 days passed, Swami didn't even look at us. Nothing. We used to wait in the line. There was a token system in the line. Then we used to get first line, second line, third line. But all the 8-9 darshans, Swami just didn't bother to look at us. And we had planned one day for departure. And that evening, all of us just bursted crying, ki Swami has not looked at us. What has happened? What is happening? Another 2-3 days passed. Swami just didn't look at us. Then finally, the day evening we had planned to leave, we picked up our bags, but still we could not just put our step out of the room. Again we burst out crying, cried. We said, okay, let's take tomorrow morning chance. And the next morning we got the first line, and me and my brother were sitting, and I just got up and I said, Swami, 10th standard over, college join karna hai. So he didn't look at me. He just told my brother, ki isko Brindavan leke jao. He used to physically recognize my brother, and he told my brother, ki usko Brindavan leke jao. So on that day, we made 2 teams. My father and mother came back to Sholapur. Me and my brother went to Brindavan. And Brindavan, we met Sudarshan ji. And we told, ki Swami has told like this. And then Sudarshan took us to Principal Narendra. And he said, admissions are over long back actually. And how come Swami has told you to meet us? We said, we also don't know. Swami has told, so we have come. So when principal himself told that there is no scope for admission, we came back. We came back to Puttaparthi. The next day we came back in the afternoon, 2 o'clock or something we came back. 4 o'clock, 4:30 darshan. Swami immediately came, हाँ क्या हो गया? So I said, Swami, Brindavan admissions over. Over? अच्छा. कितना marks मिला है? तो I said, Swami अभी तक result नहीं आया. अच्छा, रिजल्ट नहीं आया तो फिर कैसा एडमिशन मिल सकता है? तो अभी ऐसा करो, रिजल्ट लेके आओ, फिर देखता है. तो so we went back and the results were prolonged in Maharashtra, and that year the results were delayed. But after the results were announced, I took the mark sheet and came to Puttaparthi. And that time this Brindavan campus, they had some professors, and some of those professors, Anup Jalani and Kiran Patel, Nityanand, they were all called to Puttaparthi. And Sudarshan also was there. Mr. Sudarshan uncle was also there. And Sudarshan uncle came with a message कि Swami has asked Girish to join Puttaparthi college. He's starting Puttaparthi here, first batch, and Swami has asked Girish to join Puttaparthi college. So that's how I joined Puttaparthi. The college started in July, and then Swami went to Brindavan. And I was actively involved in music in Sholapur. In my school days, was actively involved in music. I was having formal training also in music. And in Puttaparthi, except bhajans, that way, that kind of, the music activity, I was missing that music activity. And so I was wondering, what could I do? And that time, along with this group of lecturers, there was a group of 20 boys from Brindavan also who had completed their 11th and 12th standard, and they had taken admission for first year graduation. 20 from Brindavan, 20 boys from Brindavan were asked to come to Puttaparthi and join Puttaparthi for first year graduation. And they were asked to lead the whole discipline and teach all the new entrants to teach them all the discipline of Swami students. And 4 of them were on the room duty. You are all familiar with the room duty. So 4 of them were on room duty. And since Swami had gone to Brindavan, all of them were quite free. And one of them was from Assam. His name was Deka. Deka. He was from Assam and he used to play guitar. And then I asked him, ki, since you're free now, will you teach me guitar? So he said, okay, I'll teach you, but my guitar is in Brindavan, he said. I don't have a guitar here. So if you have a guitar, I will teach you guitar. So I said, okay. And by that time, a message came from Brindavan, ki, myself, there was another batchmate, I mean, the first year graduation batchmate, Samir Manil, and one more student. Three of us, Swami had sent a message to the warden, ki these three people should start singing in the mandir. So from the Parthi batch, I was the first one blessed and given an opportunity to start singing in the mandir. And we started singing in the month of August. Swami came back. And of course, these are actually, if you look at them, this is a quite normal and small incident, I would say. But to me, it makes a lot of difference to my personal perception, to my personal enrichment, to my personal life itself. Usually, after Ganapati, I was asked to sing. We used to make the sequence, and then on that day when Swami arrived, I was asked to sing the third bhajan. And usually Swami comes in at about fifth bhajan. So I was just wondering if I had been given the chance of fifth bhajans, it would have been better. But third bhajan, I started singing Patita Pavana Ram, Parthi Purishwara Ram. And Swami came inside. So this means a lot to me. This means the life to me. It may look a normal incident from the outer perspective, from a third person's perspective. It may look a normal incident, but to me, it means everything. So, and this way the journey continued. And I was eager to learn guitar from Deka. And Deka said, I don't have a guitar. So Swami had come. The next day, I got up and Swami said, Kya hai? I said, Swami, I just want to go to home, Sholapur. Swami said, Kyun? Swami, I said, I want to learn guitar from Deka. And he doesn't have a guitar. His guitar is in Brindavan. So I have told my father to purchase a guitar. He has already purchased a guitar. So I'll just go and bring that guitar. So now you see at Swami's level, he could have just said, no, don't go. It is Parthi discipline, it is a college discipline and you don't go. Swami could have just said that. But see, here is the physical level experience and the motherly and fatherly care and concern for a child. What Swami says, कि शोलापुर, अच्छा तो शोलापुर तू जाएगा तो जाने को 2 दिन, आने को 2 दिन, अब घर जाएगा तो 2 दिन रहेगा ना, तो फिर 6 दिन मतलब 1 हफ्ता जाएगा. अभी हमारे कॉलेज में हमने हर मंडे को टेस्ट शुरू किया है ना, मालूम है ना? आई सेड यस. तो हर मंडे का टेस्ट मतलब 2 मंडे का टेस्ट तेरा मिस हो जाएगा, तो क्यों, क्या को जाता है? So I said in my mind, I said, big deal, what's the big deal? Yeah, okay, you say don't go, I won't go. It's so simple. But, so much of concern he was showing, ki you will take 2 days to go, 2 days to come back. Once you go home, you will feel like staying there. So why spend all that? Then you'll miss the weekly tests and all that. So I said, okay, fine. I was so happy that Swami talked to me for so much time. And then I sat down. But see, the whole thing does not end there. After bhajans, Swami goes inside, then he calls warden Nityanand, Sudarshan, and then asks them to make a call to Brindavan. And then he talks to Rupak. I hope, at least 50% of you have heard of Rupak. I hope so. And he tells him कि हॉस्टल में देखो और डेका का रूम वगैरह देखो, उधर गिटार जो है वो लेके आओ. So Rupak was to come after 2-3 days, and he made him bring that guitar. And then he gave it to me. He didn't give it to Deka. He gave it to me, and he said, now start learning guitar. So just after passing my graduation, after pursuing my career, whenever I used to look back, and even now when I look back, I can clearly distinguish these two types of experiences. The one which he gave to my father, and one which he has been giving to the students, the care and concern, and the physical level, love, care and concern. And at the divine level, he is showing his omnipresence and omnipotence. So these are the two types of Swami we have seen. I mean, I was fortunate enough, I would say, that I could see both these dimensions of God. And I started learning guitar. Later on in that same month, my father also came, and father brought the guitar. Then Swami blessed that guitar also. And after Swami blessed that guitar, Deka, after the evening bhajans and all that, he quietly asked me, कि Girish, would you ask Swami कि अभी the first guitar, पहला guitar का क्या करूँ मैं? You ask him क्या करूँ? So I said, okay, I'll ask him. So I asked Swami, Swami, वो अभी पहला guitar, हाँ वो Deka को दे दे. So there I learnt also, from the seniors, I learnt what to ask Swami, how to ask Swami. Even though he is your mother, father, everything, even though you can take all the freedom with him, but even then, there are certain protocols which you need to learn. Because I believe the learning which I have taken in all these years is that whenever an avatar comes down, avatar comes in the human form, so he has to follow some human limitations. He can, but he does not interfere every now and then in the human disciplinary order. And that order has to be learnt, that has to be imbibed. And that's how you have to behave. And that's why he comes. He comes down to show you how to follow the human disciplinary orders, and from that, following that, how you can attain the divinity, how you can experience the divinity. That is the purpose of the avatar as far as my learning goes. Otherwise, Swami, as he said to my father, कि cure क्या 1 minute में कर सकता है. But then, my learning is that कि it is all his Leela. Leela, as Shankaracharya says, Leela Kaivalyam, this is all his Leela. Leela means play. And the play, if you personify the play per se, the play doesn't have an objective. Like BCCI. BCCI does not have an objective of winning a T20. Dhoni and Kohli have an objective of winning a T20. BCCI has no objective of winning it. BCCI creates the play. And that way God creates the play. He doesn't have an objective of winning. So he doesn't interfere into your winning or your losing. At the most, if you hit a 6, he will praise you. If you get bold, he'll criticize you. That's all. Ideally, God only does that. He does not interfere. But if you pray, if Dhoni prays to Gavaskar, कि मेरे को सीखना है भाई, कुछ tips दे दो, तो outside the game, Gavaskar will give him some training. But in the match, Gavaskar will not interfere. In the match, you have to take those trainings and you play the game. So that is how the avatar operates. If you pray, he will train you, he will teach you. But in the match, you are by yourself. You have to take those teachings, inculcate them and practice them and put them into your practice. So that is what I interpret the avatar's dawning. So this was in the year 1979, and then came the year 1980. And 1980 was the year of World Conference. Every 5 years, the World Conference used to be held in Prashanti, Nilayam. And all of the students were given various duties. And incidentally, me and another classmate of mine, we were given the bakery duty. And the bakery duty was all the night long. whole night you have to spend the time into bakery and that dough making and all that. Then the oven, the hot ovens, put the biscuits, put the breads, take them out, pack them and all that. And morning 6, 7 o'clock, you go and sleep. So we were given some concessions for attending classes in the month of November. And when we got some concessions for attending classes, we used to take proper rest and directly attend the evening bhajans. And during that time, somehow I thought of composing a bhajan. And that time it was fairly easy. Once you compose a new bhajan, we just used to sing it. There was no need of taking an approval and all that. So I didn't even inform our bhajan group that I am singing a new bhajan. When I went into the mandir, I said, okay, today I am singing a new bhajan. So I just hummed it to 2-3 people, and they said, okay, we'll follow it. And I said, I'll sing third, because Swami will come on the 5th. So I don't want to take the chance of singing a new bhajan just in front of Swami. So in case some mistake happens here and there, I don't want to face that chance, that risk. So I started singing third bhajan. I sang that Nanda Nandana Hari Govinda Gopala. And inside, later on in that night, the warden came and told me, Are Girish, Swami was so happy. The moment you started that bhajan, Swami asked me, is that Girish singing? And it seems to be a new bhajan. It's a good bhajan. He's singing also well. So this is a good compliment for you. I thought since Swami himself came out with that compliment, I thought I will tell you that compliment. So that was another experience for me. It is my life. That is a lifetime experience for me. Though it's one sentence, that means a life to you. So, okay. Nanda Nandana Hari Govinda Gopala. Nanda Nandana Hari Govinda Gopala. Ghanashyama Manmohana. Ghanashyama Manmohana. Gopilola Gopala. Gopilola Gopala. Gokul Bala Gopala. Gokul Bala Gopala. He Nandalala Gopala. Nandalala Gopala. He Nandalala Gopala. Nandalala Gopala. Ghanashyama Manmohana. Ghanashyama Manmohana. Ghanashyama Manmohana. Ghanashyama Nanda Nandana Hari Govinda Gopala. Ghanashyama Manmohana. Ghanashyama घनश्याम मनमोहना गोपीलोला गोपाला
गोपीलोला गोपाला
गोकुल बाला गोपाला
गोकुल बाला गोपाला
हे नंदलाला गोपाला
नंदलाला गोपाला
घनश्याम मनमोहना
घनश्याम मनमोहना
घनश्याम मनमोहना
घनश्याम
साई घनश्याम मनमोहना
घनश्याम
नंद नंदन हरि गोविंद गोपाल घनश्याम मनमोहना घनश्याम मनमोहना. There was another incident with Nandana in around 2006 or so. We all decided, in the Maharashtra level, we decided that we would compile all these songs in the voices of all the playback singers. And Nimish Bhai, Anup Saxena ji, all of them were instrumental. I mean, they actually conceived this and decided that we will execute this project. And I was given the task to compile about 60 and odd bhajans we compiled. And Nandana was one of them. And then we made rough tracks of them. You know, cue tracks we make in recording. So for all those cue tracks, me and one singer from Pune, Priyal, we both sang the cue tracks and sent all these tracks to Suresh G. Wadkar. And he was so nice to conduct all the recordings, and he in fact coordinated all the playback singers, right from Sonu Nigam, Shankar, Kavita Krishnamurthy, and all those he coordinated, and all of them turn by turn they came to his studio and recorded these songs. So we had no clue as to who is singing which song. That all Suresh ji used to decide, or he used to make them listen, and they used to choose songs, whatever they felt like. And Kavita chose Nandana. And probably, I think, because Suresh ji was in constant touch with me, because if he had any particular clarification or doubt as to be how this line is to be sung, or what is this actual pronunciation of this word which was not clear from the cue tracks, he used to always call me. Then sometimes even those singers used to talk to me. So that was a privilege to interact with them. Probably during that time, he must have mentioned to Kavita ji that this was Girish's composition. And then we decided, Shiv Kumar ji Sharma was in charge of all the project, and we decided to launch and present this project, bringing all those stalwarts together on one stage. And it was, I think, in some Andheri sports complex we conducted that show. And when Kavita ji's turn came, suddenly Kavita said, Kine, I want Girish here. And I was somewhere in the audience, and backstage we were taking care of all the singers and all that. So that message came to me, Kine, Kavita wants you. So then I went to the stage, I asked, what is the matter? He said, Nene, I want you to accompany me here. So I sat with her, I played the harmonium also with her. So that was just one experience which, you know, it was a good experience, an enriching experience associated with your composition. So I thought I would just share that with you. And this way, times went by. In between, there was one year which was very tough. Suddenly, you know, Swami got so angry with me, I don't know why. and he just came and started blasting me. क्या डिसिप्लिन नहीं फॉलो करता, कुछ नहीं करता, कल से हॉस्टल से बाहर जाओ. एंड आई वाज शॉक कि अब क्या हो गया. मतलब आई वाज नॉट एबल टू मतलब एनालाइज कि व्हाट एक्चुअली मस्ट हैव गॉन रॉन्ग. एंड आवर केमिस्ट्री प्रोफेसर किरण पटेल, he after darshan and bhajan he came to me. Girish, he said, Girish, don't worry, tomorrow your interview is assured. So but that did not happen. And 1 year Swami didn't talk to me. I don't know why, but I took it as a lesson ki okay, I need to discipline myself to a greater extent. So I tried my best. And then came the year 83, when the college, Satya Sai College, was awarded the status of the university. And the first convocation was planned on 22nd November 1983. And that Diwali, before Diwali, we had our terminal exams. And while the exams were going on, Swami came to Mandir, and all of the music boys were sitting prepared for, geared up for bhajan. And before bhajan itself, Swami came inside. And he called all the music boys, he called inside for interview. And so we said, Swami, bhajan. Swami said, okay, it'll start. And it started, bhajan, the lady started singing, and Swami took us inside, and Swami asked ki, Diwali time mein kaun ghar ja raha hai, Diwali chutti mein. So we understood that. So none of us raised our hands. So Swami said, oh, fine, okay. All of you will go to Brindavan, and we'll practice music program. And 22nd November, we have to give a music program. You know, Swami tests you, but Swami also cannot hold you. No? Swami immediately reveals the secret. Swami doesn't hold. He just holds you for 5 minutes or so, but he also cannot resist. And that is his motherly love and concern, you know. So he just asked us कि कौन जा रहा है. When none of us raised our hand, he was so happy. He said, नहीं 22nd November हमको music program करना है, तो उसको practice करना है, तो all of us will go to Brindavan. So in the Diwali vacations, he took us to Brindavan, and about 20-25 days regularly before darshan and after darshan, Swami used to come sit for the practice. He used to listen to each and every song carefully. He used to correct the pronunciations and the tunes. Then he used to tell us the history of the song, the meaning of the song, who composed it, who wrote it, and all that. And it was a gala time. See, 1 hour, you imagine, every day 1 hour, Swami just for you, sitting with you, and discussing with you, guiding you. And in between that, whatever, you know, you ask him your personal problem, he would talk to you about that also. He would guide you for that also. And we had that lovely 20 days, we had every day 1 hour with Swami. And during that, there were two experiences. Again, on the physical level, and as a motherly and fatherly care and concern, which I experienced, I was given the job of playing the synthesizer. And that synthesizer was an old model, and that was giving quite a few problems, quite a few issues with that synthesizer. And one day, it actually stopped playing. Whatever you do, it was not playing. And then I just stood up before the synthesizer, and I was not playing anything. Swami noticed that, obviously. And Swami said, क्या हुआ? I said, Swami, ये खराब हो गया है, उसको repair करना चाहिए. You will not believe, Swami ordered for a latest model of synthesizer which costed 90,000 in those days. 1983, you imagine, Swami orders a 2-step synthesizer, and he brings that synthesizer for the music program. And the next experience was one of those practice days. It was a Thursday, and Swami came and he said, "आज practice नहीं करना है. आज आप ऐसा करो, आज आप सब लोग Bangalore city जाओ. Bangalore city में घूम के आओ." And Swami told us 4 hotels, कि these 4 hotels are good. तो ये 4 होटल में से कि यहाँ कहीं तो खाना खाओ और घूम के आओ. And Swami gave each one of us 100 rupees. That note is still with me here. And he arranged for a car, Matador, and we all went to Bangalore city. And like in Sansara also, we get lured by the fancies of Samsara. We got little bit lured in the city, and we got a bit late. Evening 5 o'clock, we are supposed to start back. But we got a bit late. And here Swami was asking, कि अरे ये लोग बच्चे लोग अभी तक आए नहीं. Or that time there was no mobile and nothing. So Swami sent another car, to the city looking for us. And while we were entering, I mean, we were coming back, we crossed that car, and we immediately, both the drivers got it. This must be something in this connection only. So both of them stopped, and the other driver told our car driver कि Swami is waiting for you, and Swami is worried that you have not come. So this is the physical level experience I was saying. कि you will wonder कि at one end you are saying the experience is like my father. He's fixing his kneecap, he's materializing a gold frame, he's showing his almighty knowledge that he knows everything what is going on in your mind. And at the other end, if we get half an hour late, he gets tense and he starts expressing his concern. So these are the two extremes of the spectrum. And I think it is important to grasp the significance of both the ends of the spectrum. And that will only complete your life as a human being. Ki at what point you need to bow down to the Lord, and at what point you need to interact with Him, responding to His care and concern. I think these are the two lessons, major lessons you need to grasp from your experiences and make them a part of your perception and personality, and live with that perception and personality every moment of your life. So we came back. Swami was waiting in the Brindavan hall. Then, of course, Swami Swami was not angry, nothing. He just said कि नहीं late हो गया, क्यों late हो गया? So we said, नहीं Swami, we did not know actually कि this much time is passed, but that was okay. It just smoothly finished off. But this is the lesson later when you recollect and reflect back on these experience. You think you should grasp this kind of lesson from the experience. And then came the music program, actual program. An actual program, there was one particular song in which I was expected to play 2 instruments at the same time. One piece you play on the keyboard, immediately you shift to xylophone with those sticks. Xylophone, I think all of you know. And it has to be played with the 2 sticks. And within the same musical piece, you play one part on the keyboard, play the next part on the xylophone, and again play the part on the keyboard. So I was a little tense because I was told to do that on the last moment. And then I played it. It went perfectly, and I was relieved. And while I was relieved, I just looked at Swami, and Swami was looking at me. So this is another experience. From the third person's perspective, it may mean a very normal thing, but it was a lifetime experience for me. He is there, and he is watching every anxious moment within myself, and he is watching every anxiety within everybody, and he is responding. Whether that response is expressly experienced at times or not, that is a different thing. At times it is expressly experienced and shown just to make you aware that he knows, he is there with you. So it's not necessary that he every time expressly shows that to you, but whenever he shows to you, for you it is a lifetime lesson that he is there with you. You need not worry. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, the 4 stages of moksha. 4 types of moksha are described. Swami, in fact, one day suddenly called upon a student and asked him to speak on those 4 types of moksha. He didn't know what to do, but Swami told him, you speak, and he spoke. Those 4 types of moksha are Salokya, Samipya, Sayujya and Sadrushya. So Salokya means you must first cultivate a perception that I am staying in the kingdom of God. So see, when you say ki we are staying in the Modi's government, for example, so we are mentally prepared to follow the rules laid down by Modi government. Similarly, if you say ki that Dashabhuja Ganpati is in my town, or if you say the Siddhivinayak temple is in Mumbai or in my city, you reverse that perception exactly and you say ki I am staying in the town of Siddhivinayak. So if you inculcate that perception, that means he is your boss and you are his servant. Now in the normal employer and employee relation, employer has a direct physical connect with the servant and he instructs him. Here, how to receive his instruction, that is the biggest problem. We often quote analogies, but when it actually comes to interpreting and applying those analogies to your perfect life perfectly, you have a problem. Those analogies have a problem. And here is one such problem, ki if you establish a relation within your mind with God, that God is my boss and I am his employee, fine, okay. But then how do you receive God's instructions daily? That is the problem. And that problem you have to solve. As far as my little bit knowledge and studies go, ki all the Dharmakshetra, whatever is described in Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas, all the principles of human behavior, those principles of Upanishad, those principles of Dharma, they are Bhagwan's order. So all the Bhagwan's discourses or the knowledge of the Vedas, whichever way you interpret them, you look at them, whatever for our purpose, whatever Swami has told us through his discourses and whatever Swami has taught us, that is his order. So if you establish a relation with God, that God is your boss and you are his employee, whatever his discourses and his teachings, they are his orders. So you remember them and follow them. That is Salokya. The next stage is Samipya. Once you start following this, you experience a nearness to him. You experience that he is around you. And the experience which I was sharing, that I was playing the keyboard and the xylophone and he was looking at me, I treat that experience as the experience of Samipya. He was showing that I am with you, I am near you, I am with you. And another analogy here is a beautiful analogy of a mother and a child for describing Samipya, that a mother takes the child to the garden for playing, and the child is playing in the garden. And during the playtime, the child is assured that the mother is there. If for one moment the child looks at the corner and if he doesn't see the mother, he becomes restless. But otherwise, he is assured while the play is on, he is assured that mother is there. So I think we must analyze and ask ourselves, am I feeling fearless? If I am feeling fearless, then I am in the Samipya stage. If I am experiencing fear with any of the issues in life, then I need to develop myself and develop that perception and confidence that Swami is here with me. If I develop that confidence that Swami is here with me, then I won't be fearful. I'll be fearless. So it's a simple litmus test. Ask yourself, at every moment, are you feeling fearless? If the answer is yes, Swami is with you. I mean, Swami is with you, but you are experiencing that fact that Swami is with you. So this is a simple litmus test. You ask yourself, I am fearless. Okay, fine. Swami is with you. So I treat my learning in this fashion. And of course, when I'm talking this, that doesn't mean that I have attained that stage of Samipya. Otherwise, Swami would need to show all that every time. It is because you always take yourself, you are dragged again by the forces of the samsara, and you are always dragged back. Again you fall into the same pits. Again you need to rise. Again you need to develop. Again during that time, Swami shows you some experience that boosts your confidence. Then you travel one step ahead. So I think this is the learning which I take from my college life. And the college life, 84, I passed my BSc. I was wanting to continue for MSc, but then Swami called me for an interview. And Swami said, no, you don't pursue MSc, you pursue MBA. And that time there was no MBA in Puttaparthi or Brindavan. And Swami said, you go to Pune or Bombay, and don't go to Sholapur. You go to Pune or Bombay and do your MBA there. And if you, later on, if you want to come back, you come back. I am also starting MBA here. You can join here as a lecturer for management. But now, you go and do your MBA. And literally, I'll tell you, when I did my MBA, when I saw the outside life, I realized that we all were under a very large protective umbrella of Swami. When you come and enter into the outside world, there are so many challenges and so many adversities. And of course, you have to go through them, you have to face them, and you have to come with flying colors in those circumstances also. And that was another lesson I think Swami gave all of us who came out from the college and faced the outside world. We had a very tough time adjusting to the outside world because we realized we were very nicely protected in Puttaparthi. But Swami was there when Swami sent us. It was obviously meant that we will face the life with the strength which he is giving us. So we could face the life. Everybody has had tremendous problems in the material life, and everybody has come out from those problems also with Swami's grace. But this was another lesson that one has to use all the strength given by Swami to face the outside world. And of course, that is Swami's objective, because he wants the devotees and the students to be his messengers to the world. And while being his messengers, you have to be familiar with all the intricacies and adversities of the material life, the outside life. And this way, the period between 1984 and 1998 was that way a passive period. I used to come to Parthi, but now that we were not students, it was not very easy to establish an access with Swami. But I used to come, I used to sit in the old students' enclosure. Swami used to come, Swami used to see, look at us, talk to one or two students. And this way, 14 years passed. And then came the opportunity of Ashadhi Ekadashi. Maharashtra state was blessed with Swami's grace. Swami allowed Maharashtra state, Maharashtra devotees to present their presentations and their creations on the occasion of Ashadhi Ekadashi before Swami. And that started in 1997. And 1998 was given to Pune. And Pune, we were asked to perform Sant Eknath, the story of the Saint Eknath. And I was asked, in fact, Nimish Bhai and Kamla Bhabi had come for the audition and all that. And when Nimish Bhai saw me, he said, see, Girish is here, so let Girish take the charge. And that's how that opportunity came to me. Through Nimish Bhai, Swami again got me back to his lotus feet. I mean, physically he got me near. Then I got umpteen number of chances to present live songs also, and the drama music, and in the dramas also I was singing. So I was given a chance. Then I could compose so many bhajans and record them and present it before Swami. And almost every time Swami used to physically come to me, appreciate that, tell me कि नहीं morning में गाया ना, morning में अच्छा गाया. So, and all that. So, those years were again the years of very good physical chances with Swami, which we enjoyed thoroughly. We enjoyed the whole process also of composing and recording and uh, practice sessions of the drama along with the children. Then all the recording, the children you have to enact with only the miming actions. So all those sessions we enjoyed. We enjoyed Swami's grace abundantly. We made some experimentations also, some different kinds of sound systems we took from Pune to Puttaparthi. We installed those sound systems. And I think for the first time, we dared, and that new sound system was to be tasted. In Puttaparthi, it has never been a practice to test the sound system before the program. And that new sound system, when Swami was there in the afternoon with full volume, we tasted the sound system. And my heartbeats had gone up, I think, double at that time. But still, we dared it. And that was also an experience. So, and that had its effect. It was necessary and it had its impact. We thoroughly enjoyed. Swami also enjoyed that impact of the system. And the next year, those systems were installed. I mean, they were used for in Mumbai also when Swami visited the Harshi temple and then came to Bombay. And in Bombay also, for all the programs, those systems were used. This way, and then came 2005, and Nimish Bhai called me, ki Girish, 2005, 1st Jan 2005, we are starting the 80th year celebrations of Swami's 80th birthday. We are starting the celebrations from 1st Jan 2005, and we are planning a national choir. All the bhajan singers from all over India would be involved in that choir, and you have to conduct that. So I was thrilled to listen to that, but at the same time again became tense. Ki national level choir, I have never even, dreamt of conducting. See, individual singing is okay. Individual singing is that way. At physical level, it is in your control, your hands. And individual singing, you can control all that. But to control and to guide a team of 100 singers and to get them present some musical content is a big challenge, and that too before Swami. So, but I was thrilled and I was tense also. And then first song, I composed the first part of the song and then sent it to Nimish Bhai, ki, how do you feel, is this okay? So all of them liked it. And then we thought of starting the song with Soham, Soham. Starting the song with Soham, Soham. And Kamla Bhabhi suggested that instead of Soham, Soham, it could be Soham, Sai Om. Soham, Sai Om, Soham, Sai Om. The song could begin with Soham, Sai Om, and then the actual song would start. So I think, incidentally, I got the video clip of that particular song, and I think we'll watch that video clip. Audio also will be played, na? Yeah. And it was actually, I think, Indubhai had visualized it, and it was his intense desire that something like this should be presented. So he introduced the whole concept, and then the choir started. So I think it's worth seeing that. Uma was also there. You can see, you can locate Uma there.
I now pray Bhagwan to accept a humble musical offering which will be placed at the lotus feet of Satsai by the Satsai organization from India and overseas. Jai Sai Ram.
I think we have reached a good and ideal note to end this session. So the journey still continues and will continue and is continuing in everybody's life with all the experiences and memories each one of us has had with Swami. So let us all try to learn and learn and learn from all those experiences in our own way. To just end with, I would just say that I had developed a passion right from 2005 only to study the science behind all these spiritual concepts as to why is the idols black. You see in the Ganesh gate in Puttaparthi, the Ganesh idol is black. So all such things I was very keen to find the answers. And if you see on the Ashadhi Ekadashi or a festival date, the idol is covered with a silver plate. So it looks white. So I'll just share the science behind that concept. And I have been passionate to discover the science in all these concepts. And that particular passion and study has given me different learnings from Swami's teachings. What Swami teaches and what could be the science behind his teaching. So this is just one particular concept which I studied and learned the answer for this. Why the idol is black? Why the Vithala idol is black? Why the idols in the South Indian temples are black? So basically first meaning or the first explanation is symbolic. But symbolic is not the only interpretation, because there is a symbolic relation and there is an actual relation. Like for example, the clock is a symbol of time, but clock has no actual relation with time. Instead of 12 divisions, if you make 20 divisions, we would interpret time in a different mathematical perspective. But that doesn't mean that sun rises at a different time. Sun will rise at the same time. You call it 6 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock according to your divisions. That is your lookout. So the symbolic relation, the clock and the time have symbolic relation. But the idol and the actual God who is existing in a subtle plane, they have an actual relationship like smoke and the fire. If you see smoke, fire has to be there. So if you see Murti, the idol with that bhava, ki the God exists, then the God comes there. That is the spiritual explanation, that is the spiritual fact. But imagine a campfire. In the night you lit a campfire, there is a particular area around you which is lit, which is lighted. That lighted area is compared to your samsara. Whatever you are experiencing in the samsara and the material life, it is like the lit area of the campfire. And God actually lies beyond that. So God actually lies in the dark domain. And to remind you of that fact, the idols are made of black color. So when you look at an idol, you must remind yourself that God is currently not in my experience, and I have to do sadhana to bring God into my experience. And sometimes God graces you. All the festive occasions, all the festivals which are there in the Dharmakshetra, they are the days and muhurtas on which the God's power itself graciously comes in abundance. So sometimes God decides to shower His grace. Those are the days of festivals. In Navaratra, the power of Goddess Durga is available for us in lakhs of multiples. And that is why in Navaratra, if you do sadhana, you get her power in multiple times. So such power, when God decides to give you that power, you cover him with the silver plate. So it is a symbol that God is today gracious upon you and He is showering His power on you. But otherwise you have to remind yourself that I have to bring God in my experience. Currently, what is in my experience is the samsara. God is not in my experience, and I have to bring Him in my experience. And that's what happened with Saint Ramdasa. He went to Pandharpur, and when he looked at Vithala, he didn't see Vithala, he saw Lord Rama, because he was a Lord Rama devotee. And then he composed the Abhanga, Yethe Kare Ubha Sri Rama. He composed an Abhanga and he had Lord Rama's darshan. So when you have that bhav, that black idol doesn't remain black for you. It becomes glorified, it showers it becomes potent with all that radiance, and all that radiance comes to you and God comes into your experience. So that is how I started my passion for learning the science behind the spiritual facts, and that has given me a totally different dimension of Swami's teachings, which we'll share some other time. So for now, I am again thankful to the organizing team, basically to Swami for showering me such beautiful experiences and love, and giving me this opportunity to share those with all of you. Jai Sai Ram. Jai Sai.
Om Shri Sai Ram. We are blessed by Bhagavan to hear from Brother Girish Atre for the past 1 hour plus about his wonderful experiences at Bhagavan's lotus feet. Having filled us with the divine bliss of listening to the beautiful stories of the Lord, let me briefly highlight the important lessons which I take home from his talk. The first one is, keep Swami as central focus of family for peace and unity in the family. Do God's work. He will protect you from bad karmas. The divine love and grace will give us protection in all situations. Avatar's teaching to be imprinted in our heart for a successful life. The motherly love of Swami is as significant as his divine supreme power. We need to value both aspects of the Lord. Being fearless is a sign that we are experiencing Swami's nearness with us. We need to value and realize science begins spirituality and benefit from them. I express my heartfelt gratitude to Brother Girish Atre for sparing his valuable time and immersing us in the Leela of Swami. Now, I call upon Sri Nimish Pandya Uncle, All India President, Sri Satyasai Seva Organization, to felicitate the speaker. Nimish Pandya Uncle.